I don't think anybody's coming to save us. So we're going to have to make some decisions about what it is that we're willing to do. Okay, so here we go. Listen. This is her speaking at a women's dinner.
Imagine a little girl getting pregnant at the age of 16.
16.
Knowing nothing on motherhood, how to raise a child. Imagine this little girl walking around with a protruding belly. The shame that sits on her
Shame.
face. And not only her face, but her family name. Engulfing the entire family. Trickling down to the closest friends and to the few people that believed in her, that okay, maybe she can be something. Imagine the trauma and the ounce it took for this little girl to overcome every slander, every malicious attack on social media from her peers. The feeling, the emotional feeling that she went through when she knew she was rejected. Not only from society, not only from the father of her child, but from her own mind. That her dreams have failed her, that her dreams have rejected her, that she can no longer be a businesswoman, she can no longer go back to school or what she wanted to do, because now a great responsibility is calling her name. A responsibility so great that demands her entire being.
Apparently not your whole
time,
being.
all her strength, all her care, and there's no avenue for personal growth for herself.
Ugh. Then somebody walks across her
Welcome.
and she's like, welcome. I'm going to stop it right there. You can go watch the whole thing if you want to. It's on Instagram, right? What is it that we've learned here? So she got pregnant at 16. Father of her child is nowhere around. We don't know what happened to her own father. Now her son is about 7, I believe, from what it is that I saw. So we have a 23-year-old woman with a man who is 30. And she's talking about this new commitment of her will require all of her, that she doesn't have the time for personal development. But then she latches onto this man who then is another succubus dragging her down. Remember, we showed the statistics of a black woman in her trajectory, or of where it is that she will be, and how that trajectory it falters when she aligns herself with a black man, when she marries, when she gets into a relationship with a black man. She stumbles because he needs so much help that where it is that she was meant to go and how far she could have gone is now faltering because she now has to help pull him up. So this is a single mother whose mother is a single mother who is raising a son on her own and going to school. Now, this is a go-getter. I have the utmost respect for this young lady. This young lady is a go-getter. She has the ambition, she has the drive, she has the fortitude to show that she's doing speeches, she's a public speaker, and then she gets herself aligned with this man who is a homosexual, and this is the idea of love that they're pushing out towards black women. That you gotta go build a bum. That you gotta go take a man out of the ethos and build him up into the man, the queen, I'm getting confused now. The king or the daddy he's supposed to be. And you know what? I'm gonna say this as a caveat, and we're gonna be ending the video soon, but I just wanted to get this out, right? All right, so I understand what it's like to meet a person and there's a soul recognition with that person. And you believe in this person, you see the dream. Maybe she foresaw and saw that one day they would be married or whatever, or she knew that this person was meant to be in her family tree. Maybe she had the foresight, right? However, we do a disservice to the men in our lives when we figure it out for them, when we make them, when we create them, when we attempt to birth them. when we mother them, we do a disservice to them, because they're never able really to truly feel like the men that they want to feel like. And this is what breeds contempt, like that woman who was like, oh, many men take this for granted. It's not really so much that they take it for granted, it's that they have a need, but at the same time they still have contempt for that which filled the need, because that fulfilling of that need is really further exemplification of his own ineptitude. We did a live show yesterday where I was talking about how I don't like the word should, because when you start telling a person what they should do, they don't listen, because now you're telling them what to do, and then they build up automatic defenses. How does this person feel like a man? Look at pictures of him. His shoulders are slumped. His shoulders are slumped. He looks like a broken individual. And even if you look at his sonnet of struggle love, he doesn't really talk about his feeling for her so much as all of the things that she's done for him and he's taken from her. And then what type of man do you have that will allow a single mother? Let me ask you all out there. Let me ask any man out there. You know what? I'll even ask the women. You see a single parent who is a student, a single parent who is a student. Put up a number 3 if you're accepting financial help from them. Put up the number 3 if you're going to accept financial help from a single parent who is a student, whose parents are not supporting them, who needs every penny that does she have college fund and tuition set aside for this boy when she was given out to her second son with the sonnet of struggle love that he put up out there? She got student fund ready for her son. She got 401k, IRA. She got all of these things in savings. She's working, going to school, taking care of a son and taking care of a second son. Put up the number 3 if you would accept help, financial help, if you would allow somebody like that to pay your rent. Even as a woman, would you allow this person to pay your rent? Put up the number 4 if you would not. If you would be like, you know what, I know you mean well, but I can't accept this from you. Put up the number 4 if you just would be like, I can't. I know I need the help, and I know you have it there to give. Put up the number 4 if you would not accept this help. So it's like, we doing this stuff for the gram so that we could get cute pictures of our boo, our daddy, dressed up there in his little outfit that you bought for him, with your ring with the stone you had to replace yourself because you didn't want that peridot or whatever. What's the blue stone? Is it whatever gemstone they got out there that's blue? You didn't want that, so you had to go buy your own little chip to fit inside the little chipettes of the little. Talking about he's more than stable, and I ain't even gonna say nothing. And he got this little sand grain ring for her. I ain't clowning on the ring. But he's talking about he's very stable now. But he brought her some ring with some chips in it and some peridot stone. I'm saying peridot. I know peridot is green, but you all educate me about which stone is light blue, because sapphire is dark blue, isn't it? Listen, let's go forward. Ladies, what are we doing? This is what I'm saying. I'm tired. It seems like there's no respite for us. When does she get the time to be soft and taken care of? What type of man puts himself in a position to be putting his loaded penis inside of a person and he doesn't have a pot to piss in? And what type of woman makes this bad gamble? Sex creates new life. You're going to put yourself in a position to have intercourse with a person where life can be created and this person doesn't have the ability to care for that life? So it's like, first of all, women's bodies produce food for children. So it behooves that woman to be with that child when it is nursing. That man needs to be out there working. Men have a sense of, they feel refortified in their masculinity from going out there and doing the doggone thing. From taking care of his house and home. What more does a man need to do besides protect and provide, really? I'm talking about in terms of what characteristics that a man provides in a partnership where children are created. So yes, he needs to support his partner. And then I told you I was going to tell you what that sounded like. When I studied these pickup artists and how they go about getting women hooked on them by criticizing them. Remember, she talked about how he lovingly and patiently, dealt with her shortcomings and her background. And he corrected her and helped guide her and all that. A homosexual is guiding you, sis? The blood clot? What are we talking about here? And it's like we allow ourselves to be negged, to have these little insults thrown at us. Go read this book by Robert Greene, The Art of Seduction, and also the book he wrote about power, right? So it's like you get a person to value your opinion, and then you start criticizing them. And then when you start criticizing them, it makes them bond to you even more, because then they try to impress you and they think that you're such a big deal. I can't with this. I want to hear your thoughts below. I find this so disturbing. I'm glad that I was not broken down into tears in this video, but inside I'm crying. Inside I'm crying. This is one thing that I'm going to say, because you know what? Let me end the video. Let me end the video on saying this, right? Somebody commented on one of my videos last night, and she was like, only 29% of black men are marrying. Black women, we're going to have to do something else. And I was like, what? She talked 29%? And then I thought about the last time that I saw the numbers. And the last time that I saw the numbers, it was 70 something. The only people in the United States that get married less than black women are black men. And it was like 70% of black men are unwed, right? And then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? If that number is 71%, then yes, that means that only 29% of black men are getting married. Only 29%. So I'm like, black women, what you gonna do? What are we gonna do? This is sad. I saw this female vlogger yesterday. And she's like a relationship person. She was in this relationship that she promoted all along social media. And then her and the guy broke up. And then I saw in the middle of the night that now she's pregnant. Her and the guy broke up maybe about a year ago or so. But now she's pregnant. Single mother on the horizon. And it's like, for so many of us, if we don't choose to become single mothers, then what will we have? If we won't be able to procreate. When I was listening to Chrissy's video, she was talking about Sherry Shepherd, how she went to have a child in her 40s, and when they went to go do the fertility treatment, she didn't have any viable eggs in her 40s. So it's like the average black woman doesn't get married until, the last time I checked the stats years ago, it was 27, age 27. And that's the average, which means there are some that are getting married much later than that. And it's like, and some that's just not getting married at all. And it's like, this American dream just doesn't really seem to be working for the black woman. And I'm like, what is it that we do? And I hear people talking about, finding the best man for you regardless of his race, right? Personally, I believe that certain genes are recessive, and I can understand why someone would not want to give their children recessive genes. I can understand why. But what is the alternative? What is the alternative? To just sit around waiting to get old? Like Sherry Shepherd? Waiting until your 40s or 50s and someone finally, now that he's all broken down and balding and penis don't get even 75% hard anymore, and now he got the big pot belly and he's then squandered his youth, and now he's come around with his limp, dejected and hammer-toed talking about, yeah, well, now I want to get married. Now that his sperm count is all winky wonky. Now he's like, I want to make a honest woman of you, while you, from being riddled with stress for all of these years. Crystalline asked whether or not this girl is going to look the same after 10 years more of this struggle love. And we already know how disease works. When her body is now, when she, what? From all this strain and struggle of raising a grown person. And all the things that she's dealing with behind the scenes. Because how many of you, listen, let's do a survey. Let's just speculate. How many of you, put up the number 5 if you think that he's not, put up the number 5 if you think he's cheated on her. Put up the number 5. Put up the number 6 if you think this man has been faithful. From what it is that I know of male nature and the way men reach out, and I don't know. Look, I don't want to speculate on people's relationships, but I just want to get your point of view from what it is that you know of how men behave when you mother them. Even as much as they need it. Even as much as they need it, they still resent it. I'm going to end the video on this note, right? I remember I was, because, you know, I've been speaking with people in Nigeria, because I'm going there for Christmas and New Year's this year, right? And one of my new associates sent me a video of like a restaurant scene on Lagos Island. And one of the things that really kind of stood out to me about this restaurant scene is that everybody in the restaurant was black. I've never seen anything like that before, because, you know, even in Harlem is gentrified now. But it was like they did a pan of the restaurant and everybody in the restaurant was black. And I was like, wow, what an amazing feeling it would be to be in an environment where there are just multitudes of black people everywhere. Where everywhere you turn, there's black people. And the thought came to me, because, you know, when we talk about 29% of black men in America getting married, it dawned on me that some of those men who are married are in homosexual relationships. Some of them are in interracial relationships. And as you know, the most wealthy, the highest of the echelon of black men are choosing to get with white women here in America, right? And so of that 29%, how many of those marriages are relegated to black women? How many of them? And so I wonder if I don't want to say the opportunity, but if the numbers are just not in our favor, if there just aren't enough to choose from, because, you know, we got so many men talking about, oh, that's why you're not married and this, that, and the other, right? But, you know, it's like we're talking about people with different personalities, people with different religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, eating habits, etc., who parenting styles, saving styles, work ethic, whether they're a day person or a night person. Look, go to eHarmony and take that test. You'll see that there's so many different qualifications for what makes people compatible. And maybe the numbers just aren't here in the United States, you know, but is it much better any place else? Because like I said, these people are African. I believe they live in Amsterdam, because I saw images of Amsterdam, but I don't know. So don't quote me on that. Right? But I'm like, is it even much better anywhere? But if you just want some DNA, or you taking care of a bum anyway, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, black women, because at the end of the day, if the numbers just aren't in our favor, what are we going to do? It's like we're out here unprotected. And people know it. This is why we get victimized the way that we do. People talk about black men being conquered men, but look at what we see. We see so many men who are putting up these posts. They themselves want to be the women of the relationship. They want to be the women. They want to be taken care of. They want somebody to help exalt and lift them up. They want to be able to rest in their feminine. They're out there looking for good men themselves, so that their woman is standing up there in a tuxedo while you doing what? I don't get it. But you know what? Listen. Maybe the numbers just aren't in our favor, black women here in America. because 29%, and we're going to have to go to Census Bureau and check on that, but last time I checked, it was 70 something percent of black men just weren't married. I don't know how many of them will never be married or how many of them are just going to marry later, but all of your fertile years used going back and forth in relationship with men who just are not interested in creating a family unit, a healthy family unit. So what do? Do you just continue to just wait around until you Sherry Shepherd's age, and now she's out there paying spousal support and paying for a child where a surrogate's eggs were used? She's not even genetically related to the child, and now she's paying spousal support to this ex-husband of her, this gold-digging bum-ass man of hers, paying spousal support to him so that he could live the good life. It's sad. Listen, I'm hoping that when I go over to Nigeria that I can create pathways for us to be able to have connection with the motherland, so that many of us can go over there, have a good time, maybe set up businesses, invest over there, and meet new friends, perhaps even meet potential partners, depending on whether or not you find a person who's a good fit. But you know what? This is what I'm saying. No matter which continent a person is on, find a person who is right for you. Find a person who is right for you. Open up and expand your dating pool. And it's like, it's such a shame that all across the board, we're just not really doing well financially. We're just not doing well financially on this continent and on many others. Now, there are men out there who are doing well. And me personally, I happen to constantly meet men who are businessmen who are doing well. I think my energy just attracts that. I don't know. But are there enough to go around? That's a question that we can ask. Are there enough to go around? So that you got to be out here like this woman building a bomb and being happy about it. Listen, I don't think anybody's coming to save us. So we're going to have to make some decisions about what it is that we're willing to do. Whether it's freezing our eggs, whether it's going international, whether it's going interracial, but we need to come up with a strategy. It's gotten to the point that it's dire. I'm sick and tired of reading the comments from these bum-ass men encouraging buffoonery and effery. I'm sick and tired of it. It's like they don't seem to want to step up to the plate. It's like they seem to be content being the housewife husband. And statistics show that women just don't maintain their attraction towards men whom they don't respect, men who are in the feminine role. Women just aren't able to maintain their attraction to them. These women end up going out and having affairs because they're just not satisfied. It's genetic. It's encoded in our DNA. They just don't respect the house husband. It may seem like a good idea at first, but it turns into a catastrophe. It turns into a catastrophe. It's like we're going to have to do reconnaissance at this time, black women, because what are we going to do if the numbers just aren't here? You know what I mean? It's like, how long do you wait? Waiting on people. So Asian men and black women are the most likely to want to mate with their own race, to want to settle down with their own race. And Asian women are the most, I forget the word, but they outmarry the most, Asian women. And you know, in America, the fixation that black men have with white women, and it's like, come on, you already know it. You know it. You know it. You know they think that they're better than us, that they look better than us, that they fit into this standard of beauty more than we do, and that when it comes time, so let's watch this Bobby Phondo situation. How many of you all think, because listen, it doesn't matter how beautiful a person is on the outside. It doesn't matter how beautiful a person. We're going to take another survey, right? How many of you think that, because right now he's very stable, how many of you think that if this man ever became wealthy and abundant, that he would upgrade his woman too? Put up the number 7 if you think he will stay where he's at. Put up the number 7 if you think he'll stay where he's at. Put up the number 8 if you think he'll go for a woman that has more of the characteristics of that men seem to find desirable in a woman, either by getting someone younger, getting someone whiter. Put up the number 8 if you think that he's going to upgrade her once his life gets to the point, because it's like they start looking around and they want the accoutrements of their life to match this new era of success that they feel that they have inside of them. So that now they're like, oh, now it's time for the white woman. Now it's time for me to get the racially ambiguous woman on my arm so that people can know, say, I'm successful when they see this young thing on my arm after he's used up this woman's youth and her resources, after she's made him into the man that he's to become. I want you to tell me whether or not you think that he'll upgrade one day. I mean, we see it happen all the time. And you know what? I'm banking, I'm rooting for their relationship. I want their relationship to last. I want them to live their best life. What I want is I want for this to have been the case of, I just knew, I felt it in my spirit, in my soul, that this person was, for me. And I invested in that relationship because, look, for many people, isn't that the dream? That you find a person who's willing to stick with you through thick and thin, come what may. It's unfortunate that she's aligned herself with a man that has not demonstrated that he has the ability to take care of himself when times get tough. I remember somebody once told me, they were an entrepreneur, and they once told me, they were like, look, you could drop me off in the middle of the desert, and when you come back, I'd be selling water. Because he was a bona fide true entrepreneur. And it's like, you all saw me stumble and fumble my way through 2016, but then I rose like the phoenix. I rose like the phoenix. And I came onto the other side of it with this book, the book of affirmations, self-love. And like I said, this book will help reattune you for self-love. If you've been in a position where you've been giving out, he said she cares solely about me. She's put herself on the back burner, her own self-love on the back burner, taking resources out of her home, from her child's mouth, to give to this man, jeopardizing her house time and time again, and then using her energy to help uplift this man where he makes a penny that she has to then celebrate and spend more than a penny to celebrate the penny that this man made. And it's like, you know what? I know there's some women out there who are like, yeah, you know what? I want a man. I mean, look, we don't know what happened with her father. I life coach all the time. And one of my clients said, you know what? The reason why I take care of a man is because I don't want him to leave like my father did. I want him to be not dependent on me, but I want him to know that this is the best that he's ever had it with me. And so she does these things so that he will owe her something, so that he won't leave. But honey, there's no guarantee that he won't leave. Because at the end of the day, you don't even know if he's really with you for you. Because listen, it is not embedded in male DNA to be protected and provided for. Money provides protection. And while a woman is dressing up in tuxedos, providing for, how can he feel like a man? How does his penis even get 100% erect under those circumstances? I'm going to do, this is going to be the last survey. We've made it up to number 10 now. Listen, I want you to put up a number 9 if, as a man or a woman, you could maintain your arousal in a relationship like this. Put up a number 9 if you could maintain your arousal. Put up a number 10 if this would kill your sex drive. If having to baby and mother some grown man, if it would kill your sex drive, or if being taken care of in this way by a woman would kill your sex drive. Put up the number 10. Put up the number 9 if you could do it. Put up the number 10 if you could not. And on that note, I will see you all in the next video. I'm going to have to break this up into 2 parts. Listen, make sure you subscribe to my videos. Thumbs up, like the videos. Come over to my Facebook and YouTube page. Make sure that you're subscribed to both. Go to my website and subscribe to my website mailing list. You can get the book of affirmations on my website for a limited time. You can also get it on Amazon right now, currently in stock. And they ship with Prime overnight with Amazon. Same price, 20 bucks. So I will see you in the next video. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? Love yourself. That's right. Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is taking care of yourself. Putting yourself first. Loving yourself and other people. There should be no human being out there who feels that you care about them solely. They should know that you care about yourself. I'm out of here. Peace.